I think the biggest trend we see now that drives identity and access governance is privacy. If you do identity and access management correctly, it underpins a good privacy setup, and it allows you to control and be compliant in a much greater way. Deletion doesn't necessarily mean deletion of data, it means deletion of access. So it would solve a lot of privacy issues if you have a very strong identity and access management setup.
Cybersecurity threats are increasing daily, so we need to face them. The second one is about regulation, in particular around data privacy, but not only. If we look at geopolitical states, we see that each countries are increasing their regulation, and we need to be able to be compliant with those regulations. It's not an option, it's absolutely mandatory.
Regulation is very specific to industry we belong to. So in the pharma world, we are under the FDA regulation, and we need to comply with this regulation, which has a lot of expectation even in the area of the identity and access management. It could be also very specific to the market the company is being quoted on, such as the US market, which require the Sarbanes-Oxley compliance.
The biggest trend in my industry is the globalisation. From an application and people perspective, the real driver is around joiners, leavers and movers within the organisation, the ability for people in a global organisation such as Vodafone to have the ability to be able to work from anywhere for any market and provide value.
The explosion of the remote working, so you know that after COVID-19, so the people is expecting to work from everywhere. We really need to be able to rapidly onboard identities, and for sure we also need to be able to manage the rest of the user lifecycle processes.
Automation being a big one. We have seen lots of move towards dynamic and agile methodologies which need high-speed provisioning, deprovisioning of identities, and being able to facilitate those through automated processes and exposure of interfaces to our identity governance administration systems.
Overall trends across security as a whole, I think access is probably one of the biggest ones. Configuration of cloud linked back to access is another one. Privileged access issues across the organisation, and not just from our organisation but across the actual technology stacks in other organisations as well.